You okay? Like you saw a ghost.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Barely coping with the end of her marriage, Tessa learns that her ex-husband David is now happily engaged to Julia, trying to settle into their new life. Julia believes she has finally met the man of her dreams, the man who can help her forget about her troubled past. Soon, Tessa's jealousy starts to consume her, and she will stop at nothing to turn Julia's paradise into the ultimate nightmare. How far will she go to make Julia's worst nightmare come true? But before we begin, please consider subscribing to our channel. Julia Banks is questioned for the murder of her psychotic ex-boyfriend Michael. Julia claims she has been set up despite social media conversations showing her lusting over Michael. 6 months earlier, Julia receives a send-off from her boss and friend Ali from her job as chief online editor for a storytelling website. Julia plans to work remotely from the mansion she will share with her fiancé David and her soon-to-be stepdaughter Lily. At David's house, Julia is greeted by his ex-wife Tessa, who is not coping with the end of their marriage 2 years earlier. The next evening, Tessa drops something off at the house and Lily insists she stay for the dinner. Tessa criticizes Julia's cooking and leaves. Julia learns that her restraining order against Michael has expired, much to her distress. Tessa is visited by her mother Lovie, controlling and belittling her. Investigating Julia online, Tessa discovers her restraining order against Michael. She sets up a Facebook account impersonating Julia and messages Michael telling him how much Julia misses him. Julia receives a surprise flower delivery sent anonymously by Tessa to make it appear Julia is having an affair. While Julia is at the door, Tessa sneaks in and steals David's watch, his grandmother's wedding ring, and a pair of Julia's panties. That afternoon, while Julia and Lily visit David at a farmer's market, Lily wanders off. Julia finds her in the arms of Tessa, who is complaining to David about Julia's incompetence as a mother. When Tessa shows up at the house, Julia confronts her for trying to renter David's life. The women have lunch together in an attempt to reconcile, and Tessa claims that David left her was because he suspected she was having an affair. Tessa mails Michael the watch and panties. Tessa tries to get Lily to ride an angry horse at her horseback riding practice, but Julia notices Lily's fear takes her home. To Tessa's annoyance, that night Tessa pleasures herself in her car while sending explicit messages posing as Julia to Michael. Tessa cut Lily's long hair short as punishment for leaving riding practice early, leading to a heated argument with Julia. Tessa throws herself down the stairs and pretends Julia accidentally pushed her when David arrives. After taking Tessa to a hospital, David is seen to be angry with Julia for treating his ex-wife so badly. Julia calls on Ali for help and they discover Tessa's child service records as a teenager. She attempted to kill her father when he cheated on her mother. Tessa messages Michael as Julia, saying she wants him to visit for one night stand. Michael enters the house while Julia is alone, and when she spurns his advances, he attacks her. A badly beaten Julia stabs him in the leg with a kitchen knife and escapes the house. Tessa, waiting outside, enters and stabs Michael in the chest. In the present, the police releases Julia, stating the investigation into Michael's death will continue. David is initially supportive after a tearful Julia explains her history with Michael, but when the police show him the evidence, he becomes delusioned and goes to Tessa's house to get Lily. There, he sees burned gloves in the fireplace and his grandmother's wedding ring on Tessa's finger. Realizing that Tessa framed Julia, Tessa knocks David out with a fireplace poker. Julia arrives and tries to call 911 but is attacked by Tessa. Subduing Tessa, Julia rushes to revive David. but Tessa attacks her with a knife. Seeing herself in a mirror, Tessa realizes the monster she has become and stabs herself in the stomach. Dying, Tessa begs Julia to not let Lily remember her like this. 6 months later, David and Julia are married and have moved into a new house with Lily. Julia answers the door to find Lovey wanting to see her granddaughter. Julia looks on in horror as Lovey hugs Lily. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know in the comment section below which movie you want us to recap next. As always, until the next time.